Okay, this area right here was the site of the Overton No.1 coal mine, operated by Alabama Fuel and Iron Company. You can see it's some pretty dense underbrush here, so not too easy to get to, but wanted to just video this right here. This is these are concrete pilings, or if you even wanted to say piers, and these were set up for the tipple of the Overton No.1 coal mine, which the tip was right in this area here. So once the coal cars were brought out of the mine, they were switched off on a side track and rolled down and up onto the tipple, which would straddle the Central of Georgia rail bed, which is just beyond those trees over there. But this is about the only thing left of any of the structures. Coal washer, the tipple, the mine portal. These are the only concrete structures left. And you can see they came up here and they did a lot of strip mining and stuff in the 40s and 50s. They just pushed all this stuff together. So, but these would have supported the tipple for the Overton No.1 coal mine. And there's a few right there. And so anyway, that's basically one of the last, this is the last structural remains of this mine site. So, but the rail bed is just beyond those trees over there. Okay, this kind of track right here that runs in this direction, pretty much east to west, kind of. This right here is the remains of the Central of Georgia railway spur line to Overton No.1. And you can see there's nothing left. It's pretty it's overgrown as you can get. But right back in here was the Overton No.1 coal mine portal. Through all those bushes and everything, you know, it's gone. They tore that up, sealed it off. But the mine portal would have been straight back through these trees right here. The mine portal was on the northern side of the Central of Georgia rail bed. It actually, the coal mine cars, miners, they went right into the portal of the Overton No.1 mine, and it went up under the Central of Georgia rail bed, which is right here. And back beyond all those trees and all that dense underbrush and everything would have been the fan house. It would have been probably about 50 yards, maybe less, from the mine portal. And that's where they had the fan house with a shaft going down into the mine to keep fresh air flowing into the mine. But that's where the fan house would have been. And the coal mine portal to Overton No.1 was right in here, give or take 20, 30 feet. So the Central of Georgia railway spur runs back through a deep cut. The other spur line going down to Overton No.2 is back down in a deep draw. So, and this ran all the way out to what is present day 459. But the coal tipple was right up here. And once the coal mine cars came out of the mine, the hoist house was halfway up the hill. And they were pulled up on the tracks, switched off, rolled down across the tipple, and then dumped on a conveyor system. Conveyor system carries it up to the coal washer, which might have been a Montgomery coal washer of that time period. And the rail tracks keep going this way, and that's where the coal would have been dumped. After the coal had been washed, the coal would have been dumped. Different sizes of coal that they were washing and and whatnot, and it would have been dumped into the Central of Georgia Railway coal cars. But the tipple was right in here, and it straddled the main spur line and the sidings. There was about 3 or 4 rail sidings at this mine. But you can see there's nothing left, and so this is about all that remains of Overton No.1, and I've just videoed a little bit of rough estimate of where the coal washer was and the coal chutes for the Overton No.1 mine. So, okay. Okay, moving a little bit further to the west down the rail bed, you can see how much they had to cut out of this ridge line right here to grade, make a level grade for the rail bed. And that's probably about a good 30 feet, maybe more, that they had to cut to make this spur line rail bed right there. But the coal washer was basically in this area, and it was basically right in here. And this is where the coal washer would have been, and the coal chutes for the Central of Georgia rail cars. And there was a conveyor system. Once the coal was dumped at the tipple from the mine cars, there was a conveyor system that carried it up to the coal washer. So, but this is it. This is the remains of the Central of Georgia railway bed, and the remains of Overton No.1 coal mine operated by Alabama Fuel and Iron Company. Well, this is kind of surprising to see. These are cross ties, wooden cross tie remains from Overton No.1, and I'm surprised they haven't rotted away like this one. But that's incredible to even see that there's any that even remain. And there's a few more right over here. You know, considering these cross ties are basically 100 years old, because I think the Overton No.1 and 2 opened in 23, 24, something like that. They only stayed in operation for about 11, 12 years. But there's some more right there. That's just incredible that there are even any cross ties that remain down here. So, okay, just a little piece of history right there. So, all right. Okay. Well, this right here is a giant coal tailings pile right here. The Overton No.1 washer was back over this way. And the mine portal is back through all that sea stuff, or where the mine portal would have been. It's back through all that sea of dense overgrowth. So that's where the Overton No.1 mine portal entrance would have been. But this is just a giant tailings pile that was left over from the coal mining operations. And there's another one on the other side, but you can see how dense and with overgrowth this is. They think they came in here in the 40s and 50s. They did a lot of strip mining, and they got off any of the excess coal that was left from the mining operations. Overton 1 and 2 shut down in 1935. So, but that's what it looks like back through here. It's just a jungle. So, okay. Okay, down in the middle of this deep ravine right here, and this is a tramway bed headed back up north towards Overton 1. And when these mines were in operation, they had on the right hand side of Overton, they had 3 big drift entries, and down there is the Cahaba River. And this is one of the big drift entries, of course, sealed years ago, most likely by the WPA. And they just pushed dirt up on this, and you can see the little opening right there, and it's got concrete supports up against the wall. That's concrete right there. And of course, you know, a lot of years of erosion and water coming down there, it's just opened up that little fissure. But this is one of the Overton drift mines here. This connected with the Overton No.1 slope mine. So not much to see, but you can see it was a pretty good size entry back in the day, maybe a good 5 feet high. So, and they had the little tramway rails right here, and just they were taken all the way back up to Overton No.1 to be put on the coal tipple. I'm not sure. They probably used a little dinky engine, a little steam operated engine to pull the coal carts. So there's another little drift mine up over there, but that's sealed up. But should be 2 more. I'll see if I can find them. But really beautiful section of the above the Cahaba. Really beautiful. Okay, right down there is the lower tramway bed to some of the lower drift mines, and this came up here to meet this other tramway bed. And who knows, they might have even had an electric tramway line, electrically operated, maybe like a Goodman electric locomotive or something up here, not sure. But the tramway bed extends on down this way. There's no more mines down there. But these are 2 of the old coal drift mines to Overton. And you can see how they've been sealed up. And, you know, the miners cut straight into the face of the ridge right here to get after the coal seam in to meet up with the No.1 slope mine. And this is one more right here. And, you know, you look at that and you say, well, you know, how can that be? It is. It's a coal drift mine. And it was just, all these were sealed by the WPA back in the late 30s after Overton had closed mining operations. And because they didn't want any coal runoff out of these mines reaching the Cahaba River and polluting the river, because the Cahaba is a drinking source for the city of Birmingham and for, you know, other municipalities even back then. So, but that's just another one of the drift mines right here. And this is the tramway bed, and this would take you all the way back to the Overton No.1 coal tipple washer complex, and where the central of Georgia had their spur line railroad at. So, and you see they cut right into the side of the ridge right here for this tramway bed. So, okay, heading on back out.